Now guys, let's discuss the agenda of this S&P 500 technical analysis. And in this agenda, the first point of the agenda of S&P 500 technical analysis is the S&P 500 technical analysis on the weekly chart. So we are going to see that what is happening on this the broader scale, the big picture. What is the big picture? Whether there is any trend change, whether the S&P 500 has any potential, or if it is, or if the S&P 500 has moved bullish, or if it is still bearish on this the longer time frame, or means when we talk about this the broader picture, right? Then comes the second point of this the agenda of S&P 500 technical analysis, and the second point is the S&P 500 support and resistance level. So I will give you the support and resistance levels, and I will tell you that what we can expect, from where we can expect a reversal, bullish reversal, bearish reversal, and where you can probably enter or exit, just like, okay, these are the entry or the exit points, where it is expected to hold, where and which particular level or which particular zone is going to provide a very strong support or a very strong resistance to the SP500. Then comes the third point of this agenda of SP500 technical analysis, and this the third point of the agenda is the SP500 technical analysis on the daily chart. See, this was the weekly chart. Weekly chart means a big picture. Daily chart means that we are going to see that what is happening in the very short term, 3 days, 4 days, 5, 6, 7 or 10 days. That's it. Okay, what is happening in the very short term, whether there is any crossover, whether there is any slip, or if the technicals have changed from bullish to bearish or from bearish to bullish, what is happening in this the short term, right? This is what we are going to notice. This is what we are going to see here. Now comes this the fourth point of the agenda, and fourth point of the agenda of this SP500 technical analysis. So the fourth point is the probable movement of the SP500 from January 23rd, that is Monday, to January 26th, that is Friday. So in this the probable movement of the S&P 500, I'm going to tell you that what we are going to see, or what we can expect in this the coming week. We have this the 200-day moving average, and whether we are going to see a gap up open or what. Okay, so I'm going to tell you all of these things, and then whether it will be able to move up or the movement will be restricted, etc., etc. So just like the last week, and in all of my S&P 500 weekly technical analysis, I mentioned this thing. Okay, and guys, before I proceed further, okay, one more thing that I want to clear here is that this SP500 or the S&P 500 technical analysis is not a financial advice in any kind or in any form or in any manner. Now guys, we are here, and this is the first point of our agenda, and this is the S&P 500 technical analysis on the weekly chart. Remember, the weekly chart. Okay, and we are talking about the week of January 23rd, 2023. That is from January 23rd Monday to January 27th Friday, right? So this is the weekly chart of the S&P 500. Let me write it down. Weekly chart. Weekly chart means one candle represents 1 week, not 1 day or 1 hour. One candle means 1 week. And guys, once again, if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, then please subscribe the channel and click on the bell notification icon. And if you want to join my YouTube community in order to get these daily updates, the daily analysis of the S&P 500 from Monday through Friday. And recently now I have included this the trade setup. I am giving these the trade setups, and trade setups are, and if you are subscribed to my YouTube channel or YouTube community for last many months, then you know that I charge $5,000 or minimum $10,000 for these trade setup. But now I am giving these the trade setup, okay, as a part of this the community, okay, this the service. So if you join my YouTube community, in that case, okay, you'll be getting these the trade setup. And guys, one more thing. In order to join my YouTube community, you can click on this the join button that is there just below the title of this video. Then you will get all of these the daily updates from Monday through Friday, and also the trade setups with a high probability or with a very heavy probability of seeing the profits, good profits and the safe profits. Anyways, guys, now we are talking about the weekly technical analysis. So on this weekly chart, okay, first of all the candle. If you notice this the candle. Okay, although it's a bearish candle, okay, a red candle, but if you notice that it tried to move up, it failed. Okay, that was because of this the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq was responsible. It came down heavily. Then there came a reversal. This reversal came, okay, on this Friday. Now this candle has formed. Now, if you notice that this candle has formed a kind of candle, means this the formation of the candle, or this the pattern of the candle. If you see, okay, we generally, okay, we consider this as a kind of hammer. Okay, we call it as hammer. whenever a hammer is there in the upright position. What it means? A hammer in the upright position means that it is supporting a bullish trend. It is supporting a bullish movement. That's it. Doesn't matter whether it is green or red, doesn't matter. Okay, it is simply saying that it is supporting a bullish movement or a bullish trend. Now, whether the bullish trend, whether this bullish trend will be sustainable or not, whether it will move up to like 2%, 5 or 10%, okay, etc. That all depends on some other technicals. Okay, this candle has nothing to do with 2%, 5%, 10% or okay anything. No, this candle is simply saying that initially on Monday, okay, as on Monday, coming Monday, that is January 23rd, we can expect an upward movement. Okay, either we are going to see a gap up open or we are going to see an upward movement. Now, whether that upward movement will be sustainable or not, that is seen through other technicals. Okay, as simple as that. Now, if you notice that in this particular case, what this candle is trying to say that the next week, any upward movement that we are going to see or that we can expect, okay, it has some good chances of seeing the 4,000 again. Okay, 40. See, generally we have this the zone of 4035. Okay, but again we will have to look into other technicals whether the other technicals are supporting this upward movement up to the 4035. Most likely, okay, they will be, but it is saying that it is at least it has the potential to move up to hit the boundary of the Chimoku, that is somewhere around 4020, 4018, etc. Okay, so this is what this candle is indicating. Right, now let's talk about the technicals. Okay, the technical indicators. So our technical indicators, for the technical indicators, first comes this the Bollinger Bands. This is the upper band of the Bollinger Band. This is the median of the Bollinger Band. Because the SP500 on the weekly chart has closed in between the median of the Bollinger Band and the upper band of the Bollinger Band, this means that the SP500 is bullish through the Bollinger Bands. Right? Now comes the second technical. The second technical is the moving average. If you notice, clear fan out in the moving averages. Clear fan out in the moving averages. Secondly, the closing of the S&P 500 was above the moving averages. This means that the EMA means the exponential moving average. Okay, this means that the moving averages or exponential moving averages are clearly supporting, means this is the bullish trend in the S&P 500, or we can say that the SP 500 is bullish through the EMAs, or the SP 500 is bullish through the moving averages. Then comes the Ichimoku cloud. Because the S&P 500 is still trading below the Ichimoku cloud, this means that the S&P 500 is bearish through the Ichimoku cloud. Right? Now this was the exceptional thing. Okay, not exceptional. Okay, but we knew. Okay, that this will be there. Okay, below this the Ichimoku cloud. Anyways, now comes the MACD. If you notice the MACD. So the MACD is more than the signal. What? MACD is more than the signal. What it means? MACD is more than the signal. It is indicating that the S&P 500 is bullish through the MACD. Means the directional bullish movement is there through the MACD in the S&P 500. Now, the second part is that both the MACD and the signal both are negative. Both are negative. What it indicates that both are negative? It indicates that in the long term S&P 500 or what we call is at the the SP 500. The SP 500 is bearish through the MACD in the long term. That is why we are saying that in the long term there is a bearish trend. SP 500 is bearish in the long term. Right? Now comes the stochastic RSI. Clearly, the SRSI means the K channel of the stochastic RSI is more than the D channel. This indicates that because the K channel is more than the D channel, okay, no saturation. This means that the SP 500 is clearly bullish through the stochastic RSI. Clearly bullish, right? Now comes the divergence. Divergence is normal, not a problem. It is not creating any problem for the S&P 500. Then comes the volatility is low, but the volatility is okay. The volatility is going to move up. Okay, why? Because now the giants are going to post their earnings from the next week. This means that the volatility is going to increase. The entire stock market, it will be highly skeptical, and there will be very high speculation, and there will be very high volatility. then there comes the momentum indicator, and it is still supporting, not supporting, it is still saying that means the momentum indicator is supporting a neutral trend. Okay, means neither bullish nor bearish, right? So what we have seen on this the weekly chart of the SP500 is that the SP500 is bullish through the Bollinger Bands. SP500 is bullish through the moving average, that means the EMA. SP500 is bullish through the stochastic RSI. SP500 is partially bullish, okay, through this the MACD. SP500 is bearish through the Ichimoku cloud, and the momentum indicator is supporting a neutral trend in the stock market on this weekly chart. Okay, so what it indicates is that on the weekly chart, the S&P 500, surprisingly the S&P 500, and let me show you here. So this was my first update on January 20th after 1 hour candle was formed, and I mentioned this thing that although it's surprising, but the truth is if and only if the S&P 500 closes above 3937 or the zone of 3937, then it will be considered as an index which is still holding its bullish ground. And with a little support, good earnings or guidance from giants, it can regain its short-term bullish trend, which is why even though SP500 is trading inside the cloud, you should be very, very careful. Okay, now we have seen the weekly chart, okay, S&P 500. So now the S&P 500 is 70% or 75% bullish. It is 70 to 75% bullish. Now what we can see is that the SP500 is bearish in the longer run. Why it is bearish even though I'm saying 70 to 75% bullish? It is bearish because if you notice that the SP500 is still trading below the Ichimoku cloud. Ichimoku cloud, it acts as a very, very strong what you can say, a boundary between the bullish and the bearish zone, because the SP500 is still trading below the Ichimoku cloud for last these 9 months, okay, since May 2022. This means that in the long term SP500 is still bearish. However, as of now we are saying that it is 70 to 75% bullish. This means that this is short term. I repeat, the S&P 500 is bullish in the short term. However, it is bearish in the long term. Again, bearish in the long term, bullish in the short term. What it indicates? It indicates that this up down and again up down, right? So this the S&P 500 is moving up, not to allow you to enter bullish for the long run. Rather, it is going to move up to give you a lower high. It is going to give you a lower high, and what we do on the lower high, we sell, right? Just like this was the lower high, it came down. This was the lower high, it came down. This again, it is going to form a lower high, and then it will come down, right? So we just need to capture the lower high. That's it. It is going to form a lower high. It is still in the long term bearish trend. That is why we are planning for this the lower high for the long term. Okay, for the short term, yes, for 20, 50, 100 points, 150 points, you can, okay, if you want to, then in that case you can capture, okay, this is the short term, okay, this is a bull movement, and that this is something I'm going to describe on my weekly chart, on this the daily analysis, and also in the probable movement, right? So once again, guys, do not get confused. We are in the long term bear trend and the short term bullish trend. Then again in the long term bear trend, short term bullish trend. This is how it works. So guys, once again, if you have not subscribed to the channel, then please subscribe the channel and click on the bell notification icon. And if you want the daily analysis, the daily updates of the S&P 500 from Monday through Friday, and now I have included the trade setups also, okay, with a high probability of profits, and these are the safe, because the maximum loss we are going for is 5%, but the maximum profit, it is very, very heavy. Okay, so if you are looking for the trade setup as well as the daily analysis, the daily updates of the S&P 500 from Monday through Friday, in that case you can join my YouTube community, and you can click on the join button that is there just below the title of this video, that is S&P 500 Technical Analysis on the weekly chart, right? Now guys, let's talk about the second point of the agenda, and the second point of the agenda of this SP500 Technical Analysis. So the agenda is the support and resistance for the S&P 500 for the coming week, that is the week of January 23rd. So the S&P 500 support and resistance levels. Now guys, we are here, and this is the second point of our agenda of this S&P 500 Technical Analysis. And this is the second point of the agenda is the SP500 support and resistance levels, right? So in this support and resistance levels, what you are going to notice is that as of now, the closing of the SP500, particularly on this the Friday, okay, it was at 3972. Okay, this the 3972. It was above the 3960. Other than that, it was also above this the Ichimoku cloud. So it is indicating that there are some bull, not just some, but there are some good. Okay, these are bullish sentiments. Now, an immediate support is there at the 3960 itself or the 396. This is the Ichimoku cloud. This is the 3965. So 3960 or 3966. Okay, this is going to act as the immediate support for the S&P 500, right? The next resistance that it is going to face is a very strong resistance at 3990 or 3991. Why it is a strong resistance? Number one, okay, there is the 200-day EMA. 200-day EMA. It is a very strong EMA. Earlier we have seen that the S&P 500, okay, it was holding, or means whenever it, okay, it tried to move up or it was coming down, it was holding, okay, on this the 200-day EMA. Other than that, it is also our calculated resistance level. And as you know, guys, all of these, the support and resistance levels, these are all my calculated support and resistance levels, and these are extremely sensitive. Whenever the S&P 500 or the Dow Jones or the Nasdaq, whenever they hits these the support and resistance levels, then something happens in the S&P 500. Either there comes a reversal or there comes a halt, okay, or there comes a hold. Okay, so these are extremely sensitive support and resistance level. This means that the 3990, 3991, it is going to act as a very strong resistance for the S&P 500 whenever it try to move up, right? So after 3990, now there comes a vacuum. Okay, there is a vacuum, and this vacuum allows a free movement. Okay, and this vacuum is up to the zone of 4035. 4035. Earlier 4035 historically has been a very strong support as well as resistance level. This means that now again there is the 4035. The zone of 4035 is going to act as a very strong resistance for the S&P 500. This means that even if the S&P 500 is able to breach the 3990, 3991, in that case also, it will be able to see a movement that will be confined up to the 4035. First, the SP 500 has to spend some time, some good time, like 4 hours, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, okay, on this zone. Then only it is permitted, then only it is allowed to move up. Let me show you that historically what has happened. That it was earlier, it tried to move up, but it failed. It tried to move up, but it failed. 2 times, 3 times exactly. 1, 2, 3, 3 times. Then on one day, okay, it was able to move up very heavily. But because it did not respect the zone of 4035, then what has happened? It came down again to re-respect the zone of 4035. This is what happens whenever any index, S&P 500, Dow Jones, or this the Nasdaq, whenever these indices disrespect my support and resistance levels, then these indices are forced or compelled to come back to re-respect my support and resistance levels, right? And once again, guys, these support and resistance levels are not the standard pivot levels that you can find through indicators or or through some other way. Okay, these are my calculated support and resistance levels. Okay, so if you notice that earlier it disrespected and then it came down to re-respect, right? So this is okay how it works. So means any upward movement, first it will be limited to the zone of 4035. Okay, it has to spend some good time, and after spending some good time re-respecting, then only it is permitted to move up. Now whenever it further moves up, then we have the 4065, again a good resistance, not a heavy resistance but a good resistance. Now comes this, okay, the very heavy, the critical, this the boundary, the resistance boundary for the S&P 500, and this is from 4100 to 4110, 4100 to 4110. Okay, now what it means? Sorry, this means that even in a best case scenario, even if the S&P 500 try to move up, immediately upon hitting 4110, it will see a decline, it will see a reversal. Okay, now that reversal can be there for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. Okay, that is a matter. Then again, if it is able to hold and if it try to move up, then again it will have to hit hard This is the 4100 and 4110. It has to struggle a lot before it can actually breach, or you can say that we need a very heavy, very strong, like just like this, the heavy candle in order to breach this the zone of 4035. Okay, but so historically the S&P 500, okay, it was able to breach the zone of 4035. Okay, but not this the 4110 or 4100. This means a heavy, a very heavy bullish candle is needed here in this particular case to breach this the zone of 4110 to 4100. Okay, a very heavy candle, a single candle is needed. And now again, whenever it happens, whenever there comes a very heavy strong candle that breaches this this particular zone 4100 to 4110, then again you will notice that there is a reversal. Okay, that there will come a bearish candle that will, okay, one or two or three candles that will then again come back to respect this particular, this the 4100 4110, and then only they will be allowed to move up any further. But as of now let's limit this the upward movement to, means in the coming week, just for the coming week, okay, upward movement to first it will be limited to the zone of 4035, because we need to know what is happening or what comes out, okay, from Microsoft MSFT, because it will be the MSFT Microsoft, okay, that will then decide the fate of the indices. Okay, so if the earnings of the Microsofts are good, okay, or if the guidance of the Microsoft, okay, it is if that the guidance is good, then only we can expect an upward movement. And also these earnings will be there after market hours on Tuesday. So now if you are my YouTube community member, then I will tell you that what comes out from Microsoft, okay, on after market hours on Tuesday, and how that particular thing, okay, means these the earnings of the Microsoft are going to impact the movement, are going to impact the probable movement of all of these indices, S&P 500, Dow Jones, and this the Nasdaq. Okay, and if there comes a possible an opportunity in the Microsoft, then just like, okay, this the trade setups. Oh, so this was an updated trade setup for the J&J, for, okay, in case of the Johnson and Johnson. Okay, because it has came down further, so I've given this, okay, I've modified the price and I've given this the modified price, and again there's a 6 to 7% intraday profit. Now comes this the bearish side. Okay, on this, so in this the bearish side, okay, what we are going to notice is that so the support, okay, means bearish side means this is the support side. Support side, the immediate support is at 3960. Then we have 3937. 3937 has proven a very, very good, very strong support for the S&P 500, and the SP500 are many times, okay, it has given a reversal, okay, from this support of 3937. This means that once again, if it comes down, then also 3937 is going to give a very good support for the SP500, right? Now, after 3937, then we have 3907, a good support or a very, very good support, and you can clearly see. Then comes the 3884. Because the 3884 earlier has acted as a strong resistance, this means that this time it is going to act as a strong support. And if you notice, on Thursday it came down, it hit exactly 3884, sorry, 3884, it hit 3885. Okay, I'm talking about 3884. So it hit and then there was a reversal, right? So this is the accuracy of my these are support and resistance levels, right? So if you have subscribed to my YouTube channel for last many weeks, for last many months, for more than a year or 2 years, then you know the accuracy of these the support and resistance levels. Okay, it hit and then there was a reversal and reversal and reversal, right? So this means that 3884, okay, it will be a good support, very, very good support. Thereafter, we have a very strong support that begins from begins here in the zone of 3840, and that is there up to this 3805. Okay, 3840 to 3805. This is a very heavy, very strong support for the S&P 500. Any downward movement means, for example, if Microsoft posts okay, very bad earnings and also, okay, a bad guidance, in that case there will be a collapse, okay, in this the stock market, okay, it will come down. So whenever it comes down and if it breaches all of these support, no problem, this the zone will be able to handle the zone of 3840, and that begins okay, here at 3840 up to 3805. It will be able to handle this a downward movement. Again, the S&P 500 has to respect, respect the zone, then only it is permitted to come down further. Okay, come down to 3790, then 3765. Okay, then we have the 3735. Okay, 3730. Okay, the zone of 3730. Right. So guys, these are the support and resistance levels. So guys, once again, if you have not subscribed to the channel, then please subscribe the channel and click on the bell notification icon. And if you want these the daily updates, the daily analysis of the S&P 500, and also these the trade setups, and then these the updated trade setups. Okay, whenever there comes the probable movement, okay, these the updated trade setup, updated values, okay, etc. Then you can join my YouTube community. And in order to join my YouTube community, you can click on this the join button that is there just below the title of the video, S&P 500 Technical Analysis. Right, so once you click on this the join button, you'll be able to join my YouTube community. Right. So guys, now let's move on to this the third point of the agenda, and this the third point of the agenda is S&P 500 technical analysis on the daily chart. Remember the first point was the SP500 technical analysis on the weekly chart, means the broad picture. Now in the next point we are going to talk about this the SP500 the technical analysis. Okay, means the SP500 technical analysis on the daily chart. Okay, in the short term. So guys, before I give you this the S&P 500 technical analysis on the daily chart, I have this important information to share with you, that if you want to join my YouTube community in order to get the daily analysis, the daily updates of the S&P 500, including this the trade setup, in that case what you can do is that you can click on this the join button. So once you click on this the join button, then this pop-up will open. In this pop-up you will see that there is this all midweek updates. All midweek updates means you are going to get the daily updates, the daily analysis of the S&P 500, okay, from Monday through Friday. For example, this is the pre-market update. Pre-market update you will get 1 hour or 2 hours before the open of the stock market. Means I will tell you that what exactly we are expecting, what exactly we are anticipating in the stock market on that the particular day. Okay, means you know everything. Okay, like you know what is the probable movement of the S&P 500 on that a particular day. Not just the S&P 500, but for this, okay, of this entire stock market. Other than that, okay, the first update, the second update, and then there comes this the final update. Okay. Other than that, I have recently started giving these the trade setup, and if you know, and if you notice that on this particular day, okay, this was the Thursday. Okay, on this particular day. So if you notice on Thursday, okay, I have given this the trade setup before the open of the stock market. And on that what particular day, what has happened? Okay, members, my YouTube community members, okay, so they have entered, okay, at this price, okay, 8.80, and they have exited, they have captured a 6% profit, 6 to 7% profit, okay, within a day, intraday. So on Friday, when this the Johnson & Johnson, okay, it came down, so I've given them okay, a trade setup where they stopped out, okay, with a loss of 5%. However, it came down and they were filled at 7.75, 7.80, and then last hour there was a reversal, and again they have gained 6 to 7%. Means they stopped out at 5% loss and 6-7% profit. They were in net profits. Okay, so this is the accuracy of these the trade setup, right? And if you notice that most of my members, they have joined my YouTube community for last many months, and they are getting these the daily updates from Monday through Friday, each and everything, pre-market update, first update, second update, third update, and this is a final update, each and everything, right? So they are there for last many months. So guys, whenever you want to join my YouTube community, you can simply click on this the join button, and you'll be able to join my YouTube community, and you are very welcome. Now guys, let's talk about the third point of the agenda of our S&P 500 technical analysis. In this third point of the agenda, okay, what we are going to do is that we are going to technically analyze the SP500 on the daily chart. Okay, so earlier it was the weekly chart. Now this is the daily chart. Let me write it down, daily chart. So daily chart means that one candle represents one day, not 1 hour, not 4 hours, not 1 week, not 1 month. One candle means one day, only one day, right? Now, so on this the daily chart, what we are going to notice is that the first of all, this is the candle. Okay, this is a heavy bullish candle where the closing of the candle is almost equal to the high of the candle, indicating either a gap up open on Monday or irrespective of any open, and upward movement on Monday. Simple. Okay, no rocket science. Okay, why it is supporting a gap up open or okay this kind of movement? Because it has also closed above the Ichimoku cloud. So this is what I'm going to discuss in the fourth point of the agenda, that is the probable movement of the S&P 500. Okay, for this the coming week. Okay, so this was from the candle. Now let's talk about the technicals. Now the technicals, first comes the Bollinger Band. This is the upper band of the Bollinger Band. This is the median of the Bollinger Band. Because the S&P 500 has closed in between the median of the Bollinger Band and the upper band of the Bollinger Band. This means that the SP 500 is bullish through the Bollinger Bands. Now comes the moving averages. There is no crossover in the moving averages. There is a clear fan out in the moving averages. Secondly, the closing of the S&P 500 is above all of the moving averages. This means that the SP 500 is bullish through the EMAs. Okay, EMA means exponential moving average, right? Then comes the Ichimoku cloud. Earlier it was inside the SP500 was inside the Ichimoku cloud, but now it has cleared the Ichimoku cloud. So that's a good news for the bulls. Okay, this means that now the SP500 is bullish through the Ichimoku cloud. Now let's see what other technicals are saying. So if you notice that the MACD is more than the signal, number one. MACD and signal both are bullish. MACD and signal both are bullish, and MACD is more than the signal. This means that the SP500 is bullish through the MACD, clearly bullish through the MACD. Now comes the stochastic RSI. Stochastic RSI, K channel is less than the D channel. K channel is clearly less than the D channel. Okay, this means that the stochastic RSI is saying that the SP500 is bearish through the stochastic RSI. Simple. Okay, because the SP500 MACD, because the MACD and the stochastic RSI, okay, they are not aligned in the same direction. This means that the SP500 will face a little trouble when it try to move up. Okay, even though okay, we are anticipating a gap up open or an upward movement irrespective of any this is the any open, okay, but that any upward movement is going to face some problem, right? Now comes the divergence is normal, okay, and it is not going to create any problem. Then comes the volatility, it is also normal, not a problem. So the momentum indicator is supporting, okay, a bullish. Okay, means the S&P 500 is bullish through this, or it has gained this the bullish momentum. Okay, simple. So now, guys, what we have noticed is that all of the technicals. So we have noticed is that the Bollinger Bands are supporting the bullish trend in the SP 500. Ichimoku cloud is supporting a bullish trend in the SP 500. EMA are supporting this the bullish trend in the SP 500. Even the MACD is bullish, or MACD is supporting a bullish trend in the SP 500. Okay, momentum is in favor of the bulls. The only problem is coming through this the stochastic RSI. Until and unless the stochastic RSI aligned bullish, there will be some problems for the SP 500 to move up. This is what we are going to cover in the probable movement of the SP 500. Okay, that is the next part, right? So technically, okay, yep. So before I tell you this, the technically, okay, what it is. So once again, if you have not subscribed to my channel, then please subscribe the channel and click on the bell notification icon. And other than that, if you want these, the daily analysis, the daily updates of the SP 500 from Monday through Friday, and also the trade setups, in that case, you can join my YouTube community. And for that, you can click on this, the join button that is there just below the title of the video, right? Now, guys, so what we have seen is that the S&P 500 is 80 to 90% bullish. It is 80 to 90% bullish on the daily chart, right? There is a constraint. Okay, there is a constraint. Why I'm not saying 95 or 100%. Okay, there is a constraint, and the constraint is that whatever happens, okay, or whenever it happens, means whenever any index it breaches the Ichimoku cloud, we wait for the second consecutive closing or the second closing, and the second closing must also be like in this particular case, the second closing must come above the Ichimoku cloud. Then only then only we will say that yes, now it is like 90%. Okay, it is 90% bullish. What it indicates? It indicates that the SP500 is indeed in the short-term bullish trend. However, on Monday, if after giving an initial bullish movement later, okay, if it comes down, okay, or if it closes, simple, if it closes back in the Ichimoku cloud, then it will become further like more complicated, more dangerous, okay, and then in that case what I will advise is that do not trade at least for 1 day, until it clears or it settles, okay. In that case you can wait for the movement that comes after the earnings of the Microsoft, right? And if you are my YouTube community member, in that case you need not to worry, because I will tell you that what is going to happen after the earnings of the Microsoft, okay, and accordingly you can trade, right? So on Monday, look for the closing. Okay, if the closing comes above the Ichimoku cloud, then all is well. Okay, we can go for this short-term bullish trend. Then the short-term bullish trend, okay, it can push it up to the zone of 4035, not a problem. Okay, so guys, this was the SP500 technical analysis on the daily chart. Now guys, let's talk about the fourth and the last point of the agenda of this SP500 technical analysis, and that the last point is the probable movement of the S&P 500 from January 23rd, that is Monday, to January 27th, that is Friday. Now guys, we are going to talk about this, the fourth point, okay, of the agenda of this SP500 technical analysis. Okay, this is the probable movement of the SP500 from Monday, that is January 23rd, to Friday, that is January 27th. And we are going to see that what is going to happen, okay, most likely on Monday, Tuesday, and up to Friday, okay, what we can expect, okay. And guys, so before I give you this, the probable movement, you need to know, okay, a few things. Number one, on Tuesday after market hours, Microsoft is going to post the earnings, right? And because the Microsoft, okay, it holds a significant weightage in the S&P 500 and in the there's a Nasdaq, and also it's a part of Dow Jones. If there comes a very heavy upward or downward movement, accordingly these indices will move up or down. Okay, clear? So if you are my YouTube community member, okay, then after hours, okay, when it posts the earnings or in the pre-market, okay, on Wednesday, I will tell you that what we are going to see or what we are expecting, okay, from the stock market, okay, overall, and in the Dow Jones and in the SP500 and in the Nasdaq, right? That is the first part. The second part is the Tesla. Okay, so Tesla is going to post its earnings on Wednesday. Although now the Tesla's valuation has come down significantly, and Tesla doesn't have that much of capability as it used to be, okay, but it's still okay. It can impact the Nasdaq, not the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones much, but the Nasdaq. Okay, and because there will be some impact in the Nasdaq, so that and if the Nasdaq goes saturated, okay, either bearish or bullish, okay, but if it goes saturated, then the same impact will be felt in the Dow Jones and in the S&P 500 and in the entire stock market. Okay, now on Thursday, okay, that is the most important part. Okay, it is the earnings of the Intel Corporation. Okay, the Intel Corporation, okay, now why it is important? Because Intel is in this, okay, it is in this the chip market, okay, it is the chip maker. Okay, now the Intel Corporation is going to tell us that what is the current health of the chip market, this particular sector. Okay, Nvidia is now okay, after Intel, okay, then there will be Nvidia, okay, but that will be okay after. But Intel will tell us, okay, this is the initial health of this the chip sector, because nowadays each and everything consumes or it requires chip, okay, from a very small item to a very large, okay, machinery, each and everything requires chip item. So if the earnings of the Intel comes down, okay, if the earnings of the Intel, okay, if it comes down, okay, in that case it will impact the chip market. The chip sector is still facing some trouble. This means that whatever company that is heavily relying on the chip sector, for example Tesla, okay, for example Tesla, although the Tesla has posted its earnings on this Wednesday, but if it comes down, if the Intel, okay, if it posts bad earnings, okay, on this this particular day, okay, Thursday, then it is going to impact the Tesla. Okay, Tesla is just one example, but there are many companies, right? So as I mentioned, that Tesla can come down to still $92, $95, okay, So it still has that much potential, $90 around, okay, 90 or $92, okay, in case if it posts bad earnings. Secondly, if there comes a bad news from Intel, okay, that will further push the Tesla down, okay. So, and if there comes a good news from Intel Corporation that now, okay, further, okay, this okay, everything went well, okay, everything went well, and then the Intel has giving, okay, some good guidance. In that case, what will happen? In that case, we will see that there will be this the either the hold or there's a bullish movement in the stock, just like Tesla, okay, or in the some other stocks, okay. Then finally on Friday, okay, there will be, okay, the Chevron, okay, oil, and okay, these the other, okay, this thing. And then there's the one more company, okay, that was I forgot the name, okay. Anyways, yes, that is the bank American Express. Okay, American Express, again, the banking sector, up down, up down. So American Express will further tell us whether the banks are moving up or down, simple, okay. But the most important part on Friday is the PCE data, core PCE data, that will tell us whether the inflation is still moving up or it is coming down or it is holding. Okay, last week in my previous S&P 500 technical analysis, if you're subscribed to my channel, and if you watched that, the previous S&P 500 technical analysis, in that I have discussed in very detail, okay, how the inflation, okay, what we are expecting from the inflation in the next month, either the next month in the month of February or as early as February, we are going to see a heavy reversal in the inflation. Okay, if it doesn't come in the month of February, then month of March, means now the inflation is going to give us a bullish reversal technically. If you have missed that part, then you can rewatch this part from the previous SP500 technical analysis. So now, guys, these are the important things that you must remember. Okay. Now let's talk about the probable movement. So guys, once again, if you have not subscribed to the channel, then please subscribe the channel and click on the bell notification icon. And other than that, if you want to join my YouTube community in order to get these the daily updates, okay, pre-market update, first update, second update, final update. And guys, if you want to get these are daily updates, pre-market update, first update, second update, third update, and nowadays, okay, these the trade setups, okay, the trade setup, then the updated trade setups, okay, with these the updated numbers, okay. So if you want to get these all of these the updates Monday through Friday, each and everything, and also these the trade setup, then you can join my YouTube community. And for that, you can click on this the join button that is there just below the title of this video, and you can join my YouTube community. And guys, once again, so far, if you have liked this video, okay, then hit like. And if you want to ask any question, then you can ask your question through the comment section. Right now, let's talk about this the probable movement of the S&P 500, okay, for the coming week. Now you remember, okay, all of this, okay, the news, okay, particularly, okay, earnings and okay, these things. Now, in the probable movement, what we know is that because the SP500, it was able to close above the Ichimoku cloud. Secondly, the closing is approximately equal to the high. This means that on Monday, we are expecting either a bullish open, a gap up open, or irrespective of any open, it is expected to move up, right? That is the first part. Now, this is what we know. Other than that, the second part is that any upward movement will be restricted by this the 3990 3991, the zone of 3990 3991, right? This is the second part. Now, because there we have these are three factors. Number one is the 200-day EMA, okay, exponential moving average, it is there. Number two is the consolidation, a short consolidation. Number three, it is our calculated support as well as resistance level. In this case, this is going to act as a resistance. This is going to act as a very strong resistance for any upward movement on Monday. Okay, what it means that is that the SP500, when it try to move up, it is going to see some hurdle, some problem, okay, when it try to move up. Okay, now on Monday, okay, if it is able to hold, as of now, looks like that it will be able to hold. Okay, but it's the stock market, and then the next week will be there will be very high speculation. Okay, that depends, okay, whether it comes like bullish or bearish, but it will be very heavy speculation. Generally, we have seen the bullish movement, okay, in all of these, okay, during this the earnings season. Okay, generally it comes the bullish, okay, but a few times there we have seen this the bearish, okay, these are movements. Anyways, let's not speculate, okay. We will always trust the numbers, okay. It's the numbers game. Now, so this is the upward movement on Monday. So this is the upward movement on Monday. So what it is going to say, okay, yeah. So if the S&P 500 is able to hold, in that case, there are chances that that on Tuesday, okay, it can further move up because the earnings of the Microsoft will be published after market hours, after the stock market is closed, right? This means that on Tuesday it will be having some reason, okay, either to give a sideways movement or to move up, okay. Now, if on Monday, if the SP500 or by any chance, if on Monday, if the SP500 gives up and if it closes inside the Chimoku cloud, then this is a very, very dangerous situation. Okay, dangerous situation means that you should be very, very careful, and it will be advisable that you must not trade, okay, particularly on Monday and Tuesday. Do not trade, because see, you can trade if you want to trade for 1 hour or 4 hours, that's okay, but still there will be very unexpected movements, okay, means a lot of these unexpected movement chances, okay, very high. Now you can trade once the Microsoft has posted its earnings, okay. Once the Microsoft is done, then you will come to know whether the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones and the Nasdaq and the entire stock market has any potential to move up or to come down, and accordingly that will be means the Wednesday, okay, early hours, that will be the time for you to decide whether you are going bullish or bearish. And again, if you are my YouTube community member, then I will tell you, okay, whether we are going bullish or bearish, right? But if it closes inside this the Chimoku cloud, okay, if particularly on Monday if it closes inside the Chimoku cloud, this means that now something is not right. Something is not right. We must wait. We must wait for the earnings of the Microsoft before we can decide, or we can say something conclusive, something concrete, like with a certainty of 90% or 100%. Okay, this is a dangerous situation, particularly dangerous situation. Okay, now and also this is not suitable, okay, for this trading. However, if on Monday, if there comes a closing that is above this the Chimoku cloud, the Chimoku cloud is at 3966. If on Monday, if the closing comes above 3966, in that case there will be two successive closings above 3966. This means that on Tuesday the entire stock market, okay, it has reasons to move up, okay, because now it is bullish above all. So this is the bullish movement, okay, it is supported by these the technicals, okay. Secondly, it was able to survive, okay, because of these two, okay, these two consecutive closing. This means it can move up. Now it can move up to what? It can move up to first once again to 3990, once again 3990. Only and only when it clears the 3990, then only it can move up to the 4035, to the zone of 4035, because there is a vacuum between 3990 and the zone of 4035. Okay, so it can move up, it can freely move up, okay, it can hit, okay, this there are chances that it can hit the 4035. Okay, beyond 4035 it has to spend some time, okay, as I mentioned in the second point of the agenda of this SP500 technical analysis, that was the support and resistance levels. I've clearly mentioned, okay, that there's a condition that it will be able to move up only and only when it spends some good time, okay, and what can happen and what cannot happen, okay. I've clearly defined very okay, specifically in that the second point of the agenda, okay. So it has to spend some time, okay. Then now breach of 4035 will come only and only if there are chances, or if the Microsoft has posted better than expected earnings, or it has given some good guidance, then only the SP500 will be able to breach the 4035, and then we have 4065, okay, for the next. So this will happen only on Wednesday, okay, means there's a breach and upward movement. This will happen only on Wednesday, because Tuesday after hours and Microsoft will post its earnings, okay, then the impact of that will come on, or will be seen on Wednesday only, right? So it will move up, and then on Wednesday we have, there's the 4100 and 4110. Now if you see that the SP500 is further moving up, and let's calculate, okay, how much, okay, it will be from here to this one. This will be 3.5% approximately. If the SP500 is able to move up, and if you see that if even with the good earnings, or better than expected earnings of the Microsoft, even with these earnings, if the SP500 fails to breach this particular zone, that is from 4100 to 4110, in that case there are no other these the giants that are going to post the earnings, okay, in that the week. This means for the entire week, then it will remain below this particular zone. It will remain below, means it will not breach up, okay. Or even if, okay, it breaches intraday, then also it will come down, okay. Even if it breaches and moves up, then again it will come down, okay, simple, okay. This is the movement, okay, here. Now again, this everything will change from Wednesday onwards. Okay, because Tuesday after market hours, Microsoft will post its earning. Okay, and accordingly, the movement will come in the entire stock market. And again, if you are my YouTube community member, then through these updates, okay, I will update you that what we are expecting, okay, in this the entire stock market, whether we are going bullish or whether we are going bearish. Okay, now comes this this part. So a closing above the Shimoku cloud on Monday. Okay, this means that on Tuesday we can expect a bullish movement or any movement, okay, where it will be above or where it is expected to hold above 3965. Okay, whatever happens, it will be able to, okay, most likely it will be able to hold above the 3965, and then okay, we will have to see whether it is able to clear the 3990 or not. If it does, in that case, definitely upward. Okay, this is the upward movement. If you see that it is still struggling here, okay, 3990, even after getting the two consecutive closings above the Chimo cloud, then on Tuesday, if you see it is struggling, then this is not good. This is not good. If it is struggling on Monday and Tuesday, okay, around this the 3990, but it is closing above the Chimo cloud, this means that this particular, okay, this thing means the movement, okay, a confined movement, a sideways movement on Monday and Tuesday here between 3990 between 3960 and between 3990. What it means? It means that the entire stock market, okay, the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones and the Nasdaq, all of this, okay, all of these indices and the entire stock market is waiting for the Microsoft to post its earnings. And that the whatever comes out from the Microsoft is going to drive it up or down. Simple, nothing else. This is the meaning of the confined movement between the 3960 and 3990. Okay, if on Monday and Tuesday if there comes a confined movement, this means that this is what the entire stock market is waiting for. Okay, so this is there. Now comes this the okay. Now even before the posting or even before the earnings are out, okay, of this the Microsoft, and you see that the SP500 has given up and it is now, okay, it has closed inside this Chimo cloud somewhere, okay, around here, okay, or anywhere but inside the Chimo cloud, then this is a dangerous situation. This particular situation is not suitable for trade, and you must consider, okay, this fact, and you must not take, a very heavy risk. Okay, because see, once again, the next week or from the next week, the speculation is going to move up. It will be very, very heavy. Whenever the speculation, okay, it is heavy, then the market manipulators comes into the picture, and it is the market manipulators, they gave sudden movement up and down, the sudden movement, okay, where you will see that because of the sudden movements, okay, your profitable trades, okay, you are seeing the, okay, these are losses. Okay, and then you will fear, and then you will out, and then again, okay, a reversal. Okay, so market manipulators, okay, they always wait for, okay, this kind of situation where the speculation is high, right? So any closing inside the Chimo cloud means hold your horses, okay, don't be greedy, okay, no need to rush, no need to FOMO, nothing. Okay, the stock market is there for last more than 100 years, and it will be there for next 100 or 200 years. Okay, so there is no point, okay, to go for, okay, or for this the rat race form, or this the FOMO, right? So 1 or 2 days, okay, you can hold. Now, so we have talked about the 3960 and 3990, okay, movement. Now if there comes anything above this, the 3990, okay, on Tuesday, okay, a bullish movement that we are anticipating, okay, because of if the closing comes on Monday above this the Shimo cloud, this means that yes, there are chances that it can move up. Now comes the bad news. If the Microsoft post bad earnings, okay, bad earnings, or even the earnings are good, but there comes a guidance, and that guidance is bad. Okay, Microsoft says that the market, it is not looking good. Microsoft is taking, some preventive measures, or Microsoft is going to fire more employees. Okay, so no, firing more employees is a good news for the company. Means stock. Okay, because stock price moves up whenever a giant, okay, fires 10,000 employees, 20,000 employees, then there comes, okay, a good news for the stock. But if the company says that there are, strong headwinds, okay, and the company is going to, okay, cut down, okay, or slash down its projections or whatever, means if there comes a bad guidance, Good earnings, bad guidance, again a fall. Bad earnings, bad earnings, bad guidance, a very big fall, a very bad news, worst news for the entire stock market. In that case, what will happen? No more upward movement. Done. Lower high is formed, and we are done. We are going home. Okay, back. Done. 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 Right. This means that it will be coming down. Okay, on Wednesday, it will be coming down. First of all, the zone of 3937 will be able to hold. This is the downward movement here. Okay, then we have 3907, then we have 3884. 3884, okay, it can find some support, but thereafter we have this the 3840. But finally, a good support is there in the zone of 3840 to 3805. Okay, before that, it can try to hold SP500. Means these the supports can try to hold, but this is a better. Okay, this is a better than expected. Okay, this is the support. Okay, and then next to next week, then there will be more of these the giants that are going to post the earnings. Okay, so we will talk about that in our in the next SP500 technical analysis. Okay, okay. So now, okay, this is the probable movement. So it all depends. So on Monday we know, and either a gap up open or an upward movement. Okay, this is going to happen irrespective of any open. Any upward movement is going to find a resistance at 3990. Okay, if it is able to survive above the Ichimoku cloud on Monday, then on Tuesday again we can see, okay, another day, okay, a bullish day again. If it is able to move up and breach the 3990, if it is able to move up, then it's good. Okay, it can further move up. If on Monday and Tuesday, if the entire movement is confined between 3960 and 3990, it means that we are waiting for the Microsoft to post its earnings. The entire situation in the entire, okay, there's the stock market in all of the indices like S&P 500 and the Dow Jones and the Nasdaq. This the entire situation will change on Wednesday. On Wednesday. Okay, so for that we need to be ready, bullish side and the bearish side. And if you are my YouTube community member, then definitely okay, I will update you that whether we are going bullish or bearish. Okay, and what we should prepare for. Okay, and what are the most likely chances? That means like what is expected to happen here. Okay, in this the entire stock market. And guys, once again remember, the speculation is going to increase. The speculation is going to be very heavy from Wednesday onwards. Okay, not just from Wednesday, but from Tuesday onwards, the speculation is going to be very heavy. Speculation will be heavy. This means that there will be the entry of the market movers, market manipulators, because the market manipulators will now trade in the stock market. Okay, openly. They will trade openly in the stock market. Means whenever there comes the earnings, okay, then they come into the open and then they trade because they have these excuses. Okay, and then they can move this the entire stock market up or down. Okay, they have these the valid excuses. Okay, that we know. So they will be openly okay trading, and they will be using okay this means this particular situation. Okay, this is the heavy speculation. This means that from Wednesday onwards, okay, the entire situation can change, the entire picture can change. Okay, up down, okay, movement, okay, just okay, either a bullish movement or a bearish movement, or intraday, okay, a very heavy up down movement, etc. Okay, so you must be ready to see some action, and you must be ready to see some unexpected. Be ready to see some unexpected. Be ready to see some unexpected intraday movements. Okay, so there will be surprises. Be ready for the surprises, right? So guys, once again, if you have not subscribed to the channel, then please subscribe the channel and click on the bell notification icon. And if you want the daily analysis, the daily updates of the S&P 500 from Monday through Friday, and if you want these the trade setups, okay, and then these the updated trade setups, okay, where you are going to make the money, okay, the safe money. If you notice that on this particular day, okay, members, they have made 6 to 7% of the profit. Okay, those who failed, okay, they have exited at the break even. Simple. Okay, next day then it gave a further downward movement, but because we were in this the bullish trade, okay, so I've mentioned that now we are going for this a 7.7, so 7.75, 7.90 for this the J&J, okay, Johnson and Johnson. So I've told them, okay, this is the entry point, and they have entered it, okay, here 7.70, 7.75, 7.80, and then in last 1 hour there was a reversal, so they have gained 6 to 7%. Yes, there was, so they were stopped out at 5%, okay, but then they made 6 to 7%. So there was a net profit of 1% or 2%. So this is the accuracy of these trade setup. That is why I charge $10,000, $20,000, okay, for these trade setup, particularly when I give the assured returns 40%, where I. So this is different. Okay, this is where I charge minimum 10,000 fee, because I'm giving assured 30-40% returns, and there okay, I take the full responsibility of the losses, okay, and I recover all of the losses, and I bring you back into this the net positive, and I give you these assured returns. Okay, so this is where, okay, I charge this the fee, right? So if you're looking for the assured returns, okay, assured 30-40% assured returns, in that case, okay, you can join this the trade setup program. That is a different program. Okay, you can drop me an email that is there in the description of the video, okay, and I will tell you that how you can join. Okay, so there I take the responsibility, the full responsibility. Okay, however, here in this my YouTube community, okay, I give these are trade setups, okay, with a high accuracy of, there's a high probability of seeing the profits, where the chances are more than 80 to 90% you will see the profits. Okay, but here in this the community, okay, YouTube community, I give this the high probability, okay, there's the trade setup, but I do not give any assured 30-40, okay, 20, okay, 50, or okay, 100%. But I give you this, okay, and then, okay, you have to trade accordingly. You have to go for this. Okay, we know that what will be the maximum loss, what will be the maximum profit. Okay, so you need to keep patience, and you need to wait for, okay, these the orders to fill sometimes. Okay, so sometimes it will fail. Okay, sometimes you need to wait, etc. But in this particular case, okay, I will be constantly communicating with you, constantly, and I will tell you, modify the prices, okay, drop the price or move up the price, okay, exit, okay, 50% quantity, exit 25% quantity, okay, and means I will be guiding you to make sure that you make 30 to 40% profits. And if there comes any loss, even 1% loss, and if you see that this is the summary report, okay, of one of my members who have participated, okay, in this program, okay. So if you see that the net profits, okay, that we have gained, okay, until now, so that the net profit is 12.35%. Initially, there was a loss of -1, okay, there was loss of 1.26%, okay, then we have made a profit of 1.26%, then 5%, then 6.88%. Okay. So this is the profit and the losses. So this is how I recover, and I give these the profit, the assured profits, right? Anyways, so if you want to join my YouTube community, okay, then you know, okay, how to join. You can simply click on this the link, okay, and you'll be able to join my YouTube community, and you'll be getting these the daily updates, the daily. And other than that, if you want to join, okay, this particular program, okay, if you do not want to take any risk in the stock market, if you fear the stock market, and if you want a comfortable, or if you want to come into a comfortable position, you just want to get, okay, 30, 40, 50, 60% profits within 1 year, okay, or like 100% or 80% profits, okay, in 1 year, then you can participate in 2 or 3 cycles. Okay, in that case, you can join, okay, this particular program, okay, then where I give the assured returns, okay. But if you do not have this much money to pay or this much fees to pay, in that case, no problem. No problem. So you can simply participate, okay, in this particular program. In means you can join my YouTube community, and there, okay, whatever on whenever I give you the trade setup, you can use, okay, these are trade setups, right? So guys, once again, okay, if you have liked this video, then hit like, and if you have any questions that you want to ask, then please feel free to ask through the comment section. So guys, this was my S&P 500 technical analysis for the week of January 23rd, 2023. That is from January 23rd, Monday, to January 27th, Friday.